Early morning. Not too early. Chilly out here in the mountains. Southwest. Down towards Mexico. If not in Mexico itself. That's debatable. Notwithstanding wars and treaties and current fictional boundaries. It's spring. A fine spring morning, I might add. And a good day to you all, wherever you are.
Lots of animals out here. Now, it's time to get more serious and more structured. We're going to codify what we're talking about. And this codification is a process, and you are looking at the person who is doing it, not a political representative of anybody, because I only represent myself and the God within. Sheen. We're not really talking about a representative democracy. Taking over the human spirit and body. Exactly that kind of deal. We're talking about a tribe. Slaves. It's more like they're just numbers. They are not royalty in nature. That's the worst. A monarchy. That's how you see the best place that humans have. And this is the benevolent Zion, philosopher king that underground has always been. What do they eat? Prophesied, really? And think about it. Many gruel. Classic intellectual. How is that grown? You know, what we eat comes from nature. It's everything that you see around you. That's saying a mouthful when you're out in a place like this. But it is what it is. It's everything you see right now. Take those things in this video to be literal, fresh air, to be real, and reality. Fresh water. It is. It rained last night. Kyyboa is not for the. But let me. It's not for the atheist. Not for the mild at heart. Get back to the subject at hand. For those who wanna. And that is Kyyboa. In their own. We're stuck on plants here. Kyyboa. I've been planning for a long time, and it's come to be known as a tribe, although in the beginning I didn't call it that. It was just first it was a pen name for myself, then it was a family name, and it was involved with my first child, who is my first daughter. And do you want to be one of the ones who are remembered? And there was a handful of people that, to you this way, I knew will be remembered of this created. All of history knows self about me applied. Wow. Name. You know, the most important principle and practice is to be in the moment. And I am, of those people, many have definitely out here from what it is in this moment. And I honor these moments that I can have. This is one of the best places in the world that I know of. And you can see, whoever's a naturalist out there, amateur botanist, you can tell when I'm checking out. You can see what these are. I'm not going to tell you. You figure it out. The smell you can't get from video. The odor. What can the city offer compared to this? Well, I'll be remembered. I am remembered even now. The importance of that is that you know what you're doing. You're aware of your purpose.
It's not like 99% of the other YouTube videos.
You exist
that are made
for a certain reason,
lulls or made for entertainment,
and you accept that.
Political lies.
And there's
I've been telling you for years.
A bit of pride with that, because as long as your pride
of community
is not out of
and
control,
realness and what we have to
it's
do
healthy.
on this planet.
You've got to be proud of something. You've
And
got
I'm
to
not
have
telling
honor
you because
and integrity,
I'm some
and something to share with the
sitting
world.
around and studying these things.
Especially
I'm
in
going
these
out there and
times.
doing it.
And that's what I'm calling on.
The doing
I'm calling on some of you
is
to relate to that and to understand
what makes it real and
what's
true.
being said in this video and other videos that I
That's why I still call myself Kyyboa. I was doing it then with my first daughter. I didn't know what community was at that point. I didn't know. I just
anything
was going
about these movements,
by
about
two
communes.
things that have always been strong
Barely
with me.
understood the term, in
Barely
my
knew about hippies. Barely knew
personality,
about
and in my
barely knew about activism.
basic nature. The two things are intuition and instinct. And I put faith in that before I even knew about religion and theology and the different things that have been written all through history. I didn't understand that when I first started to Kyyboa. I was just first hearing about that stuff, and I hadn't spent a lot of time in the libraries. I was just following my gut feeling about the world. So that's how Kyyboa came into existence. It's very personal. You know, it's like, if you don't, get it from my videos, and then, put in the effort you don't, then it's not personal. And without it being personal, it's not going to happen. It's just not. You're just going to look at me as some celebrity, a distant, person who keeps putting out these videos with the driving force of expression. And you'll be a lurker. And I don't want. Some of you assume that all these years you're just a lurker. How to make a good YouTube video at a world historic site. This is where the Trinity Blast happened. See what people are doing here.
That's what come out of your cocoon. You're going to emerge from your cave, and you're going to do what it takes to make this personal thing an actual experience. You don't have to be afraid. I mean, I actually met people at the YouTube gatherings a couple of times there, and now the gatherings are not sponsored.
Somebody just fell into the radiation. You didn't capture it.
When we'll do that.
Another person fell.
For Utopia. But I'm not putting a time limit on when you have to experience this. I'm not saying it's going to take a month or a year, but I've seen it within that scope of time. I've seen it happen. And I've seen it either goes into nothingness or it goes into direct involvement with Kyyboa, the life of Kyyboa.
I'm aware of that.
And
It gives you it's like a road map for your soul or something. When you get the Holy Spirit operative, and we know when you straight away you're following the shepherd's voice, or you're not following the shepherd's voice anymore.
Work.
Awareness, work of what you're doing.
It's work.
Yeah.
It might not involve money or employment or,
mindfulness for me,
internal revenue service. It will not require that because we're not working within that system. It's a barter. It's a work exchange. It's an apprenticeship. It's something that goes back to more ancient dealings.
Well,
It's not a bureaucracy.
I
It's
just
not
don't have to
involving
believe that,
Federal Reserve notes or computer
existence
records
itself,
or
I think it was
such.
a little far, and from his standpoint, maybe that
so
was
it's
so,
much more
because
personal.
the poverty-stricken
Who?
areas.
You talking about?
I said Arthur, the Buddha.
Yeah,
Isn't that
we've
one of
got
those-
poverty stricken well, there's a, I have a little bit of a question
But even
about
poverty
that,
doesn't
so-
even necessarily mean miserable, or
No.
you know, for some people.
We just did a video about it. No,
It's been known
it
in
means
society.
poverty is voluntary
God's
because
glamour
you don't want,
and
it actually,
money,
the
mammon,
suffering
The
is because of
devils.
possession.
This God is a good God.
You know, the desire to have.
You can't even pronounce the word in English. You cannot even write it out on paper. I'll tell you what it is later on down the line, but I won't do it on video. The God is the ultimate authority. It's the Almighty, and it has to be respected. Now, as far as the codification, this is important. Hold on a second.